why am I doing this? What's the purpose? And for us, I mean, the small group that we work with here, it's truly to help people, guide them through the home ownership process, and make it the dream a reality.
Yeah.
And that's what's really awesome. And I think that's what's made our business flourish here in the area.
Welcome to Real Estate Success Partner. We're your hosts, Devin Dubuc,
David Nguyen,
and we're here to talk about how to have great success in every market. Hey, today, guys, Dave, man, you got somebody awesome down in Florida, sunny out there. Who do you got, man? Just a ball of sunshine today.
Dude, he's one of the best real estate guys in the market. His name is Jorge Barreiro in, is it Ocala, Florida, Jorge?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Ocala, Florida.
Welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Hey, thank you guys for having me, John and Dave. It's a pleasure. We're live here from Ocala, Florida. We're located in the center of the state, if you will, about an hour and a half from Orlando and about an hour and a half from Tampa. So super excited to talk about my experience here in Ocala, Florida, and talk about a little bit what we do.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. And Ocala, we know Ocala a little bit. We've got a loan officer down there, Christina Wagner. I think you might know her.
Yes.
We know you've got some really great communities there. You've got your standard communities, but you've got a lot of, adult, adult living locations, right? Active adults, right? Is that what they call it?
That's right. Active 55 plus. Adult communities, resort style living communities. The Villages isn't too far away from us.
That's right.
So, we're definitely centrally located. Particularly, we serve mostly clients that are out of those communities. Ocala is kind of a niche for people that are looking for affordable first-time home buyers, that are looking at the $275,000, $300,000 price range for new construction.
So that's wild, man. So you said affordable in Florida. I didn't know that was a thing.
I know, right?
We talked to a lot of folks that are in the southern and the northern parts, and real estate up there is through the roof. In fact, one of the biggest issues they have there is being able to get homeowners into homes because the homes aren't affordable. So you've got a nice, unique location there where you said 275 to 300. I don't even know we can find homes that price here in Dallas for new construction. Talk about that, man. What's that market look like?
It's super exciting right now. I think they published last week, Ocala ranked number 1 in terms of people moving into the city out of 10 cities nationwide. They did a big study, and even U-Haul did a study about 12 months ago as well, that one-way vehicles were getting rented to Ocala. Cool thing is it's affordable living. There's a lot of communities here that you don't have to worry about HOA restrictions. You're located on a decent sized lot, quarter-acre lots. A lot of these builders that we work with here in the area offer different incentives for first-time buyers, including closing costs, helping you buy down the rate, different kind of cool little incentives that are offered here in the area. We're getting a lot of people from all over the country, New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, and even here in Florida, from South Florida. I know I serve a big population of Hispanics that are relocating from metropolitan areas like New York and Miami. And I'm telling you, they love it out here. You're a close drive away from Orlando to Disney. And if you want to get away for the weekend and go to the beach, again, we're only an hour and a half away from Tampa. So
sounds amazing. Sounds amazing. What's the crime rate out there? Is it a pretty safe place to live?
Well, unbelievably not. Ocala, I can say I've been living here, man, since '96. I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school. So big shout out to the residents here that stayed that long. Usually growing up, a lot of people went to the bigger cities to go to college like Orlando and Tampa. I stuck it around here, had my roots here. I have a beautiful family, wife, 2 beautiful girls. My parents are here as well. So I love it. They're in Christian school. I think this is more of like a laid back, small town kind of feel city. where I wouldn't say, you can compare it to the big metropolitan cities with crime rates, so definitely small hometown feel, and a place where you can raise family.
Yeah. And I knew that. I just, you're down there, and I wanted you to plug that out there because I think it's important for people to hear that, because what you said was, we're in Florida, Sunshine State, where everybody wants to be, right? And, we're right outside of Orlando, which, who doesn't want to go see Disney World at least a couple times in their life? And you got the beach on either side of you. Home prices at $275 to $300K for brand new homes. And it's an amazing place to raise a family. It's like the all-American city.
Yeah, sounds like it. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. I've seen your production report. You're doing some great things out there, man. How do you get your leads? How do you generate all the production that you're doing?
Absolutely. We work as a small town brokerage, like mom and pop brokerage, I would consider. It's a small group of us. I call it the elite Spartan group. We train and role play at least once or twice a week, always seeing how we can improve our skills to be able to serve our clients. We do a lot of Zillow-based leads, people that are calling in, wanting to see a property. Most of the time, they're first-time buyers. They don't know where to start. So that's pretty much our niche, is pretty much online web-based leads. Yeah. Of course, personally, I do have a big sphere of influence here in town. Since I've just been here for over 30 years, I have a lot of establishment here with relationships with local business owners, friends that I went to high school with, and just people that, referred me over. Another thing here is what we found is that, you have to be honest with people. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. You have to find inside yourself, like, why am I doing this? What's the purpose? And for us, the small group that we work with here, it's truly to help people, guide them through the home ownership process, and make it the dream a reality. Yeah. And that's what's really awesome. And I think that's what's made our business flourish here in the area.
Well, you say small group, but you say Spartans. We've seen your group. We know a lot of the folks that you work with on the team, and we also know your broker owner, amazing guy. Has a
big shout out to Ramel. Yeah,
shout out to Ramel. Great work ethic. I was super impressed and inspired. By his desire to help people, find a better way. And, when you've got a leader like that, the apples never fall far from the tree. There's a reason why you guys are doing tremendous amount of production. And there's something selfless about the way that you guys do it as well. And I think that's a lot of the reason why you're having, this great success, is because when people feel that genuine, you care, you're passionate, you want to help them, they want to come back. They want to refer their friends. They want to refer their family. Your local sphere helps because you've been there, you're rooted, you've been in the community forever. But your internal sphere of influence, the folks that you work with and rub elbows with every day, you guys are Spartans. You guys are out there doing hard work, putting in the effort, and you're getting great results. And man, I hope you guys are enjoying the successes, because you guys deserve it. You guys are just a great group of people.
Hey, I really appreciate that. Also want to shout out our back end team. We do have a group of transaction coordinators, our local office manager as well. And it's like white glove service to our customers. That's what we want to offer. Everything from the beginning, from you meeting us to partnering up with great lenders like you, full service, from start until you get the keys to your house. We want to make sure that it's a good experience for you,
We'll
for
talk
our
about
clients.
that white glove a little bit, because let's give that team a plug. At the end of the day, I'm a client, and I don't necessarily know what all goes into that real estate transaction. We've got our realtor who's going to represent us on the buy side of the list side, but what's happening behind the scenes? Why do you need transaction coordinators? What are these folks doing back there to help with that process?
So they do a whole bunch, starting from whenever we get under contract with the purchase of a home. They make sure that they get a hold of the title company. They guide you through delivering the escrow deposit for your house. They also tie the seams with communication with the lender, different appraisers, lenders, I already said title companies, just to make sure that we deliver on time, on on-time closings, and make sure that the consumer is informed on every step of the way.
Every step of the way. Yeah. Every step of the way. So let's take this back a little bit. So you grew up, you're part of the, this is part of the roots for you. Your family's there, you've family man, you've got, your wife and kids. But how'd you get into real estate, right? How did that bridge happen? Like, did you just wake up one day and you're like, you know what, I'm going to sell houses?
Yeah. So it's a crazy question. I actually started in social service, believe it or not. I have my degree in social service, a bachelor's degree. And I was a social worker for about 3 to 4 years. And, I was kind of in that same line of work. I also did a lot of business administration as well. My wife has a small business here in Ocala. It's a cleaning business. So, I was always fascinated by helping people, but also I love the business aspect side of it. And, and pretty much, looking at properties all day on Zillow, I was like, you know what? I spoke to my wife. I was like, hey, you know what? I really like helping people. I like the business side of it. What else can I do out there? I think real estate is going to be a great fit for me, because I can merge my business and negotiation skills along with my social service skills, the skills of communication, having empathy for people, being able to listen and finding their needs. Yeah. And then also the negotiation side, so they can get the best deal on the house if we were to get them closing costs, et So then, that's crazy how, I'm a firm Christian believer. And I think, it pretty much led the path for me to do this. 4.5 years ago, I picked up the phone. I called Ramel. Ramel was doing a lot of videos, and he took me under his wing, and the rest was history, man.
Well, hang on a second. It's not the rest history. If the audience caught that, 4.5 years ago, this guy was in social work, and now he's one of the top realtors in Florida. That's no accident, man. At the end of the day, you know what? To be a social worker, you got to care because you're not in it for the money. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
So the fact that you can even do that job and you genuinely care for people, that's why people do social work. And I commend anybody that has a temperament and is able to do that job and to convert that into your people now. I know you, Jorge. I know how much you care. I know how much you love your people. I know how much you give everything you can to give them, the best possible dream of home ownership. Like you, I think we talked about this. The majority of your stuff is first-time homebuyers. The majority of your stuff are first-generation U.S. citizens sometimes, or here in this country. And man, dude, you're doing some great things out there. Let's talk about that. How the heck do these people come over and find you and know that you speak Spanish and you're able to help them? Is there y'all broadcast that, or how's that work?
Yeah, absolutely. I have an Instagram page. It's called J Bar Real Estate. Uh-huh. You guys can look it up. And I get a lot of followers through there. I do some cool little drone videos. I do educational videos targeted at first-time buyers and also the Latino community. Just educating them on the different programs that are out there, down payment assistance programs, mm-hmm. how to leverage closing costs. Big program coming out in July, and I actually did a video on this, was the Hometown Heroes program. It's coming out here in Florida. That's going to give you 5% of the price of the home, or up to $35,000 to use towards your closing costs or your down payment. And I think it's just being able to voice that, through social media platforms, in Spanish, bilingual, 100%, has provided me with, this large traffic of people looking to work with me, man. And I'm really blessed for that.
Well, it's because you care, and I've seen your videos. It just comes out in the way you communicate. It comes out in your passion, and you're right. You're educating them to, hey, you don't have to have a substantial amount of cash down to buy a house. And I think that's a belief that a lot of people have. You save your 20%, and once that happens, then you can start looking for homes. And when you're getting out there and you're providing that information to the people that like Dave said, first generation, here in the States, haven't ever purchased a home here before. And, here's Jorge out there advertising, I can get you a home right now. Let's utilize some of these state-funded programs that are going to make that happen. Homes for Here, we're familiar with that program. In fact, we're getting set up for it as well as we do lending out there in Florida. So I think that's a great program. Dave's probably told you about our Smart Buy program, which is available at all times for any borrower type, allows for up to 5% towards down payment and closing costs, and doesn't require state assistance. Is available all the time, which is a pretty unique program. But at the end of the day, you're doing the right things to attract those borrowers, and that's how you're getting their attention. And but it's your passion. It's your passion. It comes out in the way you communicate. It comes out in who you are. And there's no question as to why you're having that great success, my man. It's a whole lot of work, and it's a whole lot of blood, sweat, and tears that go into what you do.
Absolutely, man. And it's been a journey, and it's something that we're always trying to improve, trying to sharpen our skills, always trying to collaborate with, community partners, leaders in the industry to just improve and better serve our clientele.
I love it, man. I love it. So let's just talk a little bit about background. So we know you're from the community. We know your family's there, but what leads your heart? You get into social work, and as Dave mentioned, there's passion behind that. There's got to be a reason that you just, you want to help people. We can feel that when we talk to you. Why? Like what how did you grow up to say, and I need to help people? This is just a calling for me. What was that? Where did that come from?
Yeah, my parents migrated here I was born actually in Brooklyn, New York, and we rented for the majority of my life. And I came from a family that wasn't wealthy. We didn't know what home ownership felt like. We didn't know what building wealth off real estate was like. And that was something, I wanted to change in my family through education, through being able to go to college, obtaining a degree, being the first in my family to obtain a degree, and lead that on to my family and to other people that are similar to me, that feel like, they don't have they don't feel like they have the tools or the education necessary to improve themselves, to have a better life. I think that's what drives me every day. I wake up in the morning, see my two girls, see my wife, see my mom, my dad, and it just makes me, go out, want to be better, and just kill it, man, and just help as many people as I can, help as many families that I can, and also create a portfolio for myself, a real estate portfolio for myself. And I can tell you, last year was a big milestone for me. Personally, I purchased my first investment property. Now I'm starting to get into a lot of investment deals myself. So I take that as knowledge that I can bring to somebody else and somebody in the community that may not have the tools necessary or feel like they don't have the tools necessary to be able to invest in real estate and create generational wealth.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit, right? So you said, hey, I wanted to change things in my family's perspective, and I wanted to become a homeowner, but I also wanted to start building a real estate portfolio. For somebody who's out there saying, well, not me, there's no way that can ever happen, right? Because again, you mentioned you don't come from a family of wealth. You don't come from a background of money. Your parents rented. They didn't own homes, right? How do you help somebody transition themselves into going, I'm buying a home and I'm going to build generational wealth? How does that happen?
I'd say it's all about education. education and knowing exactly what you need to do, having a mentor. And that's what we are at the end of the day. I consider myself as a mentor and an advisor for you personally. So what does that entail? To getting your credit score where it needs to be in order for you to get a loan, having that stable job that you need to have, reporting taxes every year, opening up a bank account, depositing your funds from your job into the bank account. If you don't have credit established, getting a prepaid credit card, things like that. Just bringing knowledge to the people, because it's not impossible. It's all about just educating yourself, and that's ultimately what I see myself out here as doing, is bringing education to a lot of people.
And you certainly are. You certainly are. And you're right. It's just education. Because when you grew up and nobody said, "Hey, look, this is how to buy a house," how do you know? How do you know how to get mortgage ready? Well, I think the great way to do is you call Jorge and you say, "Hey, I don't know what to do, but I want to own a home," and at the end of the day, how do I make that happen? And you're going to guide them through, you're going to walk them through, you're going to pair them up with great partners, like Dave, and make sure that they understand exactly what it takes to get qualified. And you're going to take somebody who's thought, "Man, I never could," to I'm a homeowner. And let's talk about that, because, home ownership, David, we talk about this all the time. What's the average appreciation per home in a home per year?
About 7 or 8% in the last 10 years. About
7 to 8%. So let's talk about that. So you said your first time home buyer loans are typically starting between $275 and $300. So let's use $300,000, right? And at a 7% to 8% appreciation, let's do the math on that. 7% of $300,000 is $21,000, right? So that means year number one, the person that purchased that home, they're going to see a $21,000 gain. And this is on average. We know last year over year, it was 7.9%. It fluctuates a little bit, but 7.9% from today. So that's $21,000. Year number two, it's $42,000. Year number three, it's $66,000, right? And it just continues to grow. So now all of a sudden you look up and you've got $100,000 in equity, because you're not putting your money into a property that somebody else is making money off of, right? A rental property. You're putting into a home and you're creating wealth. And that's why we talk generational wealth. I think some people listen to these podcasts, or they listen to this talk and they go, "What do they mean generational wealth?" Right? Well, let me tell you something.
Right.
If you went from zero to $100,000 in 5 years, 6 years, that becomes generational wealth, right?
Right.
And now what you're talking about, Jorge, is now let's talk about how you can invest some of that equity into property number 2, property number 3, property number 4, and start building wealth through real estate, so that one day you don't have $100,000, you have $1 million. You have $2 million. And eventually you look up and you're a multimillionaire simply by investing in real estate. And I think that's what you're talking about, right, Jorge?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And that's, essentially what happened to me. I mean, even as a first-time buyer, I compounded so much equity in my house that I was able to leverage and use that money to invest and build my portfolio.
Let's talk about that too, Jorge, because, there's a lot of comments out there about, well, man, it's just a terrible time to buy a house because the rates are high. And look, love them, like them, or hate them, the rates are where they are. They're actually not high if you look at the historical rates. And people talk about that all the time. People go, it doesn't matter because now homes cost more. Of course they cost more. And income isn't leveled out for a lot of people. In Ocala, you guys don't have that problem. Your homes are $300K, so people can afford those homes, right? But if someone were to ask you, Jorge, why does it not matter what the interest rates are today? Why would I buy a house now instead of just continuing to rent? What would you tell them?
Essentially, rent, you're putting your money down the drain. You're never going to recuperate that money ever again. When you're, and I can tell you again here, for a property here at 275 and the rent being as high as it is here, you're only talking about a difference on a 275 home. You're talking about a difference of maybe $100, $200 of what the rent is going compared to a mortgage. And essentially, with a property, you're only going to obtain equity year over year. And just going off of what you said before, you're building generational wealth off the equity that your home is acquiring over the years. And especially in a community here in Ocala where the growth is just projected to be exponential. I mean, you can drive around here and the amount of vacant land is slimming.
Yeah.
Less and less and less. And what's going to happen? Market economic forces, right? Supply and demand. As less land becomes available, the more the prices of the homes are going to be.
Prices go up.
So, yeah, I mean, and I'm talking about my market, and that's what I tell people. Like,
well, soon, Jorge, Orlando's not going to be an hour and a half away. It's going to be a half an hour away because you guys are going to expand
that's right.
to where it's right there in your suburb, which is what we've done here in the DFW. We've expanded out. Give you an example. We talk about year over year in increase in property values. We had some doozies back in 2020, 2021, 2022, where it wasn't a 7% appreciation. It was 20% appreciation, which, again, like, love it, like it, or hate it. If you owned a home, you were probably happy to see that additional wealth, right? But, we saw, the subdivision I live in here, the home that we sit in here today, we saw these homes out here start at $400,000, go to $650,000 overnight. Or the ones that were at $800,000 went to $1.2 million overnight, right? And, it's insane to think about that, but that's how fast you can make money in real estate. And when you're living in an apartment, you'll never see that. But the person that owns that apartment complex, brother, are they getting it every single month, right? They're getting your rent and they're getting the equity that's gaining in that property over time. And that's why people that own land or own homes are always going to be have the ability to find wealth, where people that are renting are losing out on. And even if you want to rent, you don't want to live in the house, buy the house as an investment, right? Invest in your future, because that's exactly what it is. So, we love to talk about that because the average appreciation, like we talk about 7%, but did you know in the last 8 decades, homes have only depreciated 7 times?
Wow.
That's 80 plus years, 7 times. And it's only happened twice in one market. So when you look at that on the money odds, that tells you that you have a 91.75% chance that you're going to gain money in real estate. Can you tell me any other investment opportunity out there in the world where you have a 91% chance that you're going to gain money?
Nothing.
It doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, So, no, good stuff, man. And that's why we love people like you, brother, because you're out there doing the right thing. Let's talk a little bit about that family. You said you got wife and kids at home. What's that after work life look like? Do you get to get out there and have some fun in the sun? Like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, man. Like I said, we go to Disney quite often for the girls' birthday. I got them enrolled in some activity in gymnastics. They're 8 and 12, so we're always on the go. Summer just hit here, so they're out of school. So we're just trying to keep them busy in camps and recreational activities. But I mean, since we're so close to the beach, one of our hobbies is going to the beach, man. You see the skin color, you see the tan. We were at the lake this weekend for the holiday, and we're blessed. We're blessed to be able to enjoy that, my wife and myself. And
well, I don't know if you were 12 years old when you had these kids, because 8 and 12 doesn't make sense, man. You look like you're in your 20s. There's something in the water in Ocala, man.
There's something in the water,
you got
baby.
The fountain of youth going on, my brother.
Yeah, man.
How about your wife?
But,
you said your wife, she's a business owner. Is that correct?
Yes, she has Ocala TLC Cleaning. They do all kind of residential and commercial cleaning. She's a hustler just like me. So big shout out to her, Tangi. Love you. And she's great.
Let's get a shout out to her business too, brother. So let's talk about what she does. And then if the folks want to find her to use her service, how do they get in touch with her?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, they do a lot of move in, move out, Airbnb, short-term rental cleanings. She has a good crew, all family. We're all related. So trustworthy people. You can check them out on Google at Ocala TLC Cleaning, or you can look them up on Facebook and TikTok. They do some pretty cool videos on TikTok.
We're going to put that across the bottom too here. So if you're watching this podcast, look out for that. let's get a plug out there for his other business, for his better half, right?
Right.
And, at the end of the day, we love to support the local businesses. I think that's, it's super important, to get out there and support the folks in your community. So, if you guys need those services, let's get that phone ringing, right? Let's get that phone ringing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Hey, so, if your wife were here today, I know you guys, obviously real estate's demanding. You've got 2 little ones at home. She's running a business. You're running a business. What would you say to her today, for the things that she does to help keep this family together?
Oh, I would say, honey, you're the foundation of the home. You hold us together. I don't know how you do it. She's an amazing cook, so I don't eat out very often, believe it or not. She does her work. She takes care of her business, and by the time we get home, dinner's served, the girls are ready to go. And, thank you for everything that you do.
My man, super mom over there.
Yeah.
Super mom. We got a super agent. Yeah, you guys are like the dynamic duo, right? The Incredibles. We got the Incredibles here today, brother. So
right.
Good stuff. Well, we'd love to keep you here all day, but we know you got to get out there and serve those families. What didn't we cover today that we should have?
Well, I think we pretty much touched everything. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow me at JBar Real Estate, or you can look me up on Facebook, Jorge Barreiro. I am Spanish, so I am 100% bilingual. So para mi gente hispana, aquí en el área de la Florida, estamos para poder servirle también. And then I'm going to put my number here, which is 352-239-1973. Y en español sería 352-239-1973. Appreciate you guys.
No, we appreciate you. And what market are you in? We know it's Ocala and surrounding areas. Where all do you get out to?
So basically, I like to stay within Marion County. This is the county that Ocala is in. Within the county, you have other smaller cities like Bellevue, Summerfield, and Denellen. And of course, Ocala. So this is my market. This is where I sleep. This is what I know. And I'm here to serve. So I like to stay in this market.
That's perfect. So guys, if you want to find Jorge, just look down below. You're going to see all his credentials there. We're going to have all the different links. And also, if you're watching or listening to the podcast, not watching it, go check out the description. We're going to have information for him. We're going to have information for his wife's service as well. So at the end of the day, give these folks a call. You're going to be glad you did. He's a staple in the community, doing amazing things out there, helping first-time home buyers find generational wealth, even when they think they can. Dave, man, what else do you have to say for this amazing gentleman?
Man, if you're looking for houses out there in Ocala, Florida, there's only one man I'm calling. That's Jorge. And if you don't think you can afford a house, call Jorge anyways. They're surprised. There's so many programs out there that's unbelievable. In fact, a lot of times we could probably get you into a house with 0 down. So don't be scared. Make the call. Call Jorge. Get into that house.
I don't hear the phone ringing yet.
Oh, it will be.
Let's light it up.
Call my man.
Let's light it up. Well, great stuff. Hey, again, Jorge, we super appreciate you having you here. Look forward to getting out there to Ocala sometime and shaking hands and meeting you face to face.
Absolutely.
But until then, we're your real estate success partners. I'm Devin Dubuc.
I'm David Nguyen.
Hey, if you want to check us out, come on over to realestatesuccesspartner.com. Again, that's realestatesuccesspartner.com. Or if you want to watch this video and you got to meet this handsome man, Jorge, come on over to YouTube. You're going to be glad you did. We'll have the full video there. That's going to be found at the Dubuc team. Or you can check us out on IG, Facebook. I think we might even be on TikTok. I don't know. We're all over the place at the Dubuc team. Hey, we'd love it if you comment. We'd love the subscribes. We want to keep bringing this great content where you get to meet awesome agents like Jorge. And, hey, just leave those comments and subscribe, and we'll talk to you on the next one. Until then.
Bye, guys.